The original Raaz, to get the answer to that, there was a great combination of horror and romance. Of course, there was a triangular drama which was kind of structured there, within which we gave you your dose of horror. And we, in a way, once again have a triangular drama. The triangle is one dramatic device which has always worked in narratives ever since human beings started telling stories. And it has an inbuilt tension and it seeks resolution. So within a triangle which has high adrenal rush in it, we have managed to put in fair amount of horror. But the 21st century consumer is quite different from the consumer that was there at the dawn of the 21st century, when we released Raaz 1, because by then he has been exposed to a lot of horror on television, which has kind of numbed him. So what the discerning viewer today, which is a young viewer, I would say India is a young country, 5.75 billion people, Indians are under the age of 25. 40% of India is under 18. I think this audience wants to get the feeling of being served a sensible narrative. And what we have done is woven a story in this film which is relevant to the times, and it ultimately has a thematic journey. It talks about the evil within. It talks about, while we all look for evil outside.
Firstly, I'd like to say that I've always been a big fan of horror, of the genre of horror films. If I had it my way, I would have Raaz, The Mystery Continues, as my debut film. Ever since I was a kid, I've been watching horror films, and when other kids my age were watching movies and cartoons and movies like Sound of the Music, I was watching films like Exorcist and Omen. So I think this, for both of us, for Mohit and me, is like a dream come true, because we've grown up together and we've seen so many horror films. And like Vatsab was saying, I think, over here, I think in India, horror has always been somewhere on a back foot. It's always been a genre that hasn't been explored properly. We've always had, filmmakers shying away from it, probably because they don't understand the right key to take. I think that's very crucial in a horror film. You can go overboard, but I think horror is in the silences. It's in the most psychological, the most scary. And like Vatsab said, it's very true that I think fear is the most dependable emotion you can evoke in a cinema hall.
Honestly speaking, I think I'm really, really scared of horror films. And my life story is completely opposite from Imran. He said that he wanted a horror film to be his debut. I never knew in my life that I would be doing a horror film as my debut, because I can't even watch horror films. I mean, I'm like watching films like this, or either I shut my ears and I don't watch the film. But honestly speaking, I think it has been a wonderful experience. I think when you shoot for a horror film, it ain't that scary, because of the people involved there, the unit there, the lights there. I think, as Imran said, I said, when you go back home from a haunted place, or if you do a haunted scene, when you go back home to your bathroom and you're looking at yourself, removing the makeup off, I think that's time I think you start getting scared, and I sometimes felt that somebody might just come from the back and scratch me or kill me.
A product which doesn't appeal to the palate of the young Indians. And I'm talking about not only the metro apathetic, metro multiplex going youth, but the pan-Indian youth, the youth which are spread all across the country. So that demographic, of course, we have kept that in mind, and we have made the music. We've cast the people who are like them. They belong to this age group. They speak their language. You have a 25-year-old guy, you have a 20-year-old boy, and you have a 20-year to a 24-year-old director. And I think we have consciously understood, realized this, that we have enormous experience as filmmakers. We have a body of work behind us, but the steering wheel must be in the hands of the young, because through them we will discover where India is actually heading.
To watch more, log on to www.erosentertainment.com.